I like to think of the outcome-based grazing program as sort of a choose-your-own-adventure in the rangeland permitting world. We're grazing towards an outcome as opposed to grazing towards a prescription. And so we collaboratively build our definition of what that outcome is.
My grandfather came in the early 1900s from County Cork, Ireland. My father and his brother took over and began adding properties. Now, our generation, myself and my children, we are concentrating on developing water so that my children's children will still be here. I'm Eleanor Fitzgerald, and I'm a member of Fitzgerald Ranch Incorporated.
My name is Taylor Utley, and my role on the ranch is, I guess, taking over. My mom's looking to slow down, so I'm the next generation.
My name's Colin McKenzie, and I'm a ranch manager. You kind of learn as you go. I guess it's like being a parent. Never really ready for it, but you got to do it.
For most people that live in Warner Valley, they would tell you that it's beautiful. And the community is what makes it even more special.
It is ranching dominated community. I would say if families aren't ranching families, they're teachers, so that's basically all we got out here.
Livestock grazing provides an opportunity to really make a living on much of this desert land. The people who live on the land are able to stay on the land and raise cattle, where if they didn't do that, they'd have to sell the property. It would get probably subdivided or carved into smaller units and produce more housing, which would interfere with wildlife, and movement and other recreational opportunities would be lost too. The primary advantage is that we can move around based on the climate conditions that exist in any given year. Some years are drier than others, some are wetter. Sometimes there's snow on the ground still.
There's also different factors that come into play, such as drought, fires, just things that you can't control. So being flexible and being able to adjust on the fly is pretty critical to what we do.
In a drought situation, it's really tough, but the one advantage is we have more flexibility to move the cattle, whether it might be water operations or move water around to get to places where we haven't been able to graze before. We've increased our water sources, which really helps to provide more distribution. So during droughts, we can get them to places where we otherwise weren't grazing before.
One of our areas has not had consistent water in the early spring, and we were able to drill a well and find water and work with the BLM, and it's opened up a whole bunch of country that really did not get used before because there was no water there. During the droughts, having a consistent, reliable source of water is huge.
The improvements we were able to get through because of this program a couple of fences. Even some cattle guards are really helpful. One of the issues we ran into with this allotment is that a lot of people left gates open. So being able to put cattle guards in alleviates the problem with people leaving gates open, so the cows are staying in the pasture they're supposed to be in. That makes it easier for the ranchers.
So with the monitoring, that's how we kind of get our actual use and to see kind of how much utilization we're actually getting.
I have multiple photo points set up in allotments where I just go and take pictures after we've grazed it, or sometimes before, just to show how it's regrowing and how much we're taking. It's kind of an actual use indicator that you can use. We've just kept an eye on the area and done a lot of riding just to get them out of the riparian area and try and push them to other spots. We used electric fence to try and keep them out of that area so they didn't keep grazing it.
I feel that we are more of a team with the BLM than we were on the traditional program.
We meet and go out together post-grazing and pre-grazing. That way we're all kind of on the same page.
I think the most important thing for the ranchers is they have to believe you're honest and you're giving them the straight scoop. And you listen to them too. You pay attention to their concerns and you hear their input, because they have been on the land for a long time and they have valuable input.
We're able to go out together so we can ask questions and make sure we're on the same page as far as what we're seeing out there and if we're both satisfied with what's going on.